Just want to introduce myself real quickly. I'm Nicole Scheffler, and I kind of two things. That's why I've said Life of a Tech Diva. I lead strategy and planning for America's partner organization at Cisco. So we have about 140 different engineers and engineering leaders, including some of the amazing ones that have been supporting this event. And I help our director guide like the strategy, take care of all the little details for our team. And then I have a team of 12 people that I manage that do highly technical work for our partners and deployment. So what I'd like to do on this talk, and I'll go and share my screen here, is share like the automation and ways that I can do several things that I do. So I got a lot going on. In fact, some of the ways to see that is to head over to techdivasuccess.com. It kind of shows you, and if you look at it, you'll see it's podcasting, which I'll talk about hacks for several events. I have a book that just came out. So holla, just this month, I got a book with Jack Canfield that I contributed a chapter on. So I'm really excited about that. But and then I do a lot of speaking on technical topics, a lot of women in tech work. But at the end of the day, it's like, how do I do all this? So I want to share with you like the success secrets of all the different tools that I use for automation in order to survive and thrive with all of this stuff, because having the job at Cisco is very demanding. I'm also a mother, and I'm going to be a mother. I have like another baby in here coming out any day. So I had to show that off. She had to be on her first recorded WebEx here. She'll be coming out soon, another tech diva. And I just want to showcase some of the tools. So on my website, you can actually go to the about and the favorite tech tools part. And I call out some here, but there's so many more. I definitely dropped some DevNet in here to play off of the passion that Nicole, Josh, and I have. But, just for this project, I have several. So what I want to do is just pop over, talk about some of the ways that I automate workflow for the side projects. So the first one I'm going to do is the podcast. So the podcast is a passion project, but I bring in, like I do a weekly podcast. I've been podcasting for 5 years. So there's a lot of tips and tricks. I could do a whole thing on podcasting, but I actually have someone I work with who guides people through that, because I have other passions, I guess, and like to leave it to the people that do it day in and day out. But I've learned a lot there. In fact, I record my podcast in both WebEx and also sometimes use Zoom because of the automation, which I know Niket is like, what are you saying? So how it works is I have people book on my site. So if you look at show overviews for the podcast, there's two shows here: Diva Tech Talk, which is like a library of women telling their career journeys, and Tech Diva Success, which is a 20-minute success show. Whether you're male or female, you can gain from it, but it's also a great tip for, I'm assuming, mostly identifying males in this, or maybe a majority watching, that you a tip is always have something you can give women in technology. So if you're looking for like how you can help women in technology and you're not really sure how, having tools like this podcast that you could share with other women to get them on my show or share with them to empower them is one way you could contribute to the conversation. So when someone wants to be a guest on the show, I don't have like a ton of time to spend, getting to know the person. Like I really had to automate it. So no matter if you're doing this or anything else in your life and you want to automate it, it's really easy to do it with some scheduling tools that I have. So what you do is, like, say you want to schedule time for this, it will open a Calendly. And the thing about Calendly is when you click on the pre-call, you could schedule it, you can look and you could see like the availabilities of my time. Now, you'll be able to see all the times here. This is linked to a Google Calendar. So what I do is I block on most work days up until like 4:30. And then that way I'm not going into my work day, and I'm allowing at least a 30-minute slot if people need it to be in the work day, that they can schedule time with me. So it automates it and allows them to choose the time for these different things, which is really awesome. Then they'll click on it. Now, one of the things that I am putting feature requests in for Cisco is that this automatically sets up the Zoom meeting and puts all the information together and then pushes back the Zoom to the guest and myself. So I don't have to do any scheduling. I could tell you from doing podcasts for a long time, a lot of the pain was figuring out what time you need to meet because people would be like, what time can you meet? So it automates that process. It gives them the Zoom meeting, gives me the Zoom meeting, puts it in my calendar, and it's done. One thing it also does is when people sign up for this, I put them into my Mailchimp. So Mailchimp is how I manage my contacts for my projects. So when someone signs up for Calendly, I do say on the contact site that it would add them to my mailer. I am not a ClickFunnels um, type person, but I do believe there's a balance between having a mailer and having a full ClickFunnels. So this allows me to at least have, I have, like, as you can see, about 800 people, and I do a monthly mailer. So it's not, I'm not trying to build like a full side coaching business here. I want to provide this type of work to people and summarize it once a month. And so when anyone signs up, they get like this welcome email that's automated that would automatically go to them, and you can Mailchimp's really powerful if you haven't used it. Again, some of you guys are going to know these tools, and that's what I said at the beginning, like hopefully you'll pick up on one more, and you can actually click in and see who's doing that. I'm not going to spend time on there because I don't want to share their emails, but it adds them into Mailchimp. Also on my website, if you go to the subscribe, it automatically takes it from the Squarespace form and puts it into this Mailchimp, and that's where the welcome message comes on. So it just welcomes them. It says hello, and it lets them know like, hey, I'm not gonna be sending you 100 emails. I'm gonna send you one email a month for the most part, and then gives them a chance to unsubscribe so that they don't feel like it's spam and they don't hurt my feelings. So those are some of the ways that I automate communication with everything. And then, of course, a ton of like Google spreadsheets and things that I won't go into. Any questions on just automating contacts and scheduling? It's pretty invigorating. Let me tell you, it saves time. All right. So some other cool apps that I love are social media. So if you haven't seen it, I recommend, there's tons of social media. There's Sprout and like other ones, and I happen to use Hootsuite. So it's awesome to go in and you can actually schedule all your posts in advance. So you could schedule it for later and pick different times. I try to do this throughout the week so that I'm not online doing social media during the week. So I try to spend Sundays getting on and scheduling mini posts. So there's not a lot right now because it's Saturday, so I'm kind of on that, but it's cool because you could set up different streams. You can add a stream for whatever channel you want, and you can actually say, okay, I want to stream for likes. So then it would just show me like who's liking my stuff. Now, one thing I automated on Twitter, which I want to show you guys, if you haven't used If This Then, I set up like a really basic flow on If This Then. It's really powerful. It's like pre-made subprograms or little applets in this case that you can link to different accounts. So if I look at my Twitter, this is my Women of Cisco one. I manage a lot of different Twitters. So every time that someone follows me on this Tech Diva Success um, handle, which I built for my new brand and this year, I want to be able to like say hello back to them. So this little, hey, crypto finance with their mention, thank you for following me. It gives me a chance to scroll over them. So as I review my social, I can follow them back if I want to. And it says a thank you, which I think is really nice to thank people for joining your Twitter. So all you have to do is connect this to Twitter, and it will automatically If This Then. So if someone follows me, then it just puts that tweet out. So you can explore it. There's a lot of like home automation stuff in here for different maker types. Say you want to do, what's the name of that doorbell? I know we have one. My pregnancy brain is slipping me. You guys know, like the little doorbell with the video.
Ray.
What?
Nest or ring?
Nest, yeah, okay. So we could do Nest. So like a pizza cam. So people have written these, and you could see how many people are using it, which is a good indicator, right? Like the pizza cam, you could click on it and it shows you when your pizza's here, and you could connect it to your cams. But something like that doesn't have like a lot of clout. So you want to try to look for ones that have like, tell Alexa to adjust your Nest thermostat. So that's probably a popular one. You have Alexa, you have a Nest thermostat. You want to be able to say, Alexa, change the temperature of my thermostat. So it tells you exactly what it's going to do, and you can connect it and customize it. So another great tool if you're looking, is it if this then. And it's cool because I'll like go through like I just did, and I'll hover over people that have followed me, like Debbie Blake, and I can see I already follow her. It just kind of makes sure that I'm like following without having to look at the follower list. So I do automate social media for scheduling and for things like that. So that's one tip. I don't know if you guys have seen Linktree at all, but this is another pro um, tip. It's a great way to aggregate your links. So it adjusted the color. This a lot of stuff I do for free or like hack my way through because this is my side project. So Linktree allows you to take like all the different, and I have like a support anti-racism thing I opted into here, but it allows you to kind of like put all your links in one spot. And it's really nifty because you could just have this one link on your Twitter profile or your LinkedIn, and then people could go to it and really look at everything that you're working on. So you could create link trees for anything. You could create them for, your favorite comic books, favorite women in tech conferences, favorite bar camps across the world, whatever they are. And it's just a really simple, easy way to aggregate your links. And I like it because you never have to change your main link. You're able to see how many views you have. So for free, you could do a lot of different things. And you can like move them around if you wanted to change the priority, add and remove links. And you can also see what it would look like on the cell, which is nice. I just had a lot of links, and so Linktree is super helpful. YouTube, I've got the tube up if you want to subscribe. I'll put all of our podcasts here as well. Lastly, as I come to the few last things here, Canva. If you guys haven't used Canva, I really recommend it. In fact, if I click on all my designs of different things that I've made, or I'm in the works of making, there's a lot of different ways that you can use Canva. In fact, you'll start to see how my brand colors and scheme are in here. And Canva just allows you to create designs for different reasons. So say you want to create um a Instagram post. It will like already pre-make it for you, and it's just so easy to take designs and like just, stay safe um with virtual bar camp. I mean, it's just really powerful to not be a designer and do amazing things. And one hack here is I have all my uploads, and I often will put like my logo on it. So lots of different logos here. I always have to scroll down for it. So this is like my little logo, right? So say I wanted to match like a lot of those purples to this. Let's see. You can like drag a logo or your company logo or something on there. And then when you go to this and you want to change the color, it will have like pull the colors from the logo. So you can actually just change it right there. And then it will look like it matches your brand. Or you could change it to the purple of the brand, which would bleed out that center part. So I usually use this light purple. But I just really love Canva. I just use it literally for everything. And it makes things look super professional. And again, another tip on Canva is you could design things like I designed this business card for my, branded stuff. And you could actually print from here. Um, and that's kind of nice because you don't have to like take your design, find another company. I've been testing a lot of the print capabilities of Canva. I've printed business cards, which I should have one down here, and I don't have one at my desk right now. But I really liked the quality of the business cards were legit. The stickers came on like one sheet of stickers, so you have to cut them out individually. I tried a t-shirt. So if you wanted just one t-shirt, you could order that on Canva. Let's see if I show the t-shirt. I found that the t-shirt design color, the font of it uh, didn't match. Like it was white font, so obviously it didn't go with the. I think I tried. And this is really helpful for all kinds of stuff. Let's see. Where did it go? Okay, I think I did this one, right? So I used this and put it on a t-shirt. So I did print t-shirts. I was just testing it and I printed it on a white shirt. Well, the problem was, even though this background was black, I thought it would be a black square with Tech Diva in it, and it wasn't. It was just the ink. So I suggest if you print anything on here, get like a small print quality and see if it does it. But it's super cool if you have like, you want to get shirts for like 5 people on your team, you can design them in Canva and then you could just print them on Canva and then they send it to you. So I've been playing around a little bit with that. Any questions on Canva? I just personally really love it. I also use it sometimes to resize pictures because I insert pictures on my blog when I do my podcast blog, and people send me their headshots and I use them. And sometimes their headshots will be, the ratios like super huge. So we'll take Prosperities here. So her original picture took up like the entire page. So instead you could come in and do custom dimensions, which I really like. So you could say 400 by 400 pixels. Um, and then you could just drag and drop the pictures. So the upload um, of her, put it in here, and then you could size it to that. So it's a great way to like resize pictures as well without having to do like any kind of Photoshop. So it's like a hacker's way, to, in my opinion, of creating amazing images. And other than that, I will spend the last few minutes. I'll see if there's any questions on like all of these tech tools. I just picked a few of my favorites. Let me see what was on my favorite tech tools page. Um, I just find that like without these, I would be lost because I wouldn't be able to do everything. Obviously, I'm a huge user of Google Docs. It just helps because I collaborate with so many different people and people generally get it. Of course, the real nerdy ones don't love all the features of it, but for general, it works. I do host my website using Squarespace. I just think WordPress is, it's more flexible and it's faster on load. But for the general user, for what I'm doing and what I have time to do, Squarespace works. Um, and then Transistor is what I'm using right now. So one show, when you do podcasting, you put it on one amplifier almost that goes out to all the channels. And so I've used both Libsyn, which I use for one show, and then we use Transistor for another show. So that's great. For audiograms, those are the talking ads. So a sample would be this right here. We do feature men on Tech Diva Success. So Headliner allows us to add the image and the audio and has the audio bar go across to make it a little more interesting. So we use Headliner on that. Audio editing, free audio editor is Audacity. And then I just use iMovie if I'm making something on YouTube and want to add some logos. And the last one I forgot to show is called Map Me. And I was using this to showcase like the global presence of the podcast. And it's pretty cool. I got to like the max of the free version, so I'm not quite sure if I want to use it 100% like pay yet, as many of you go. But like it's really cool because you could see like, okay, she's located here. Here's like the listen, and then you can actually do listen, and it will take you to where you can hear her podcast episode. I embed the podcast itself at the top and then the YouTube at the bottom for each of my episodes. And then that's that. So with the last like 3 or 4 minutes, I just want to share a few things about success. So my top few success tips, because I think that a lot of the stuff I do, I wouldn't have been able to do if I wasn't doing these things. So the first is just setting goals. I think that it's really important no matter what you're doing in life or your career or even just for the day if you're trying to get your house clean. That's why people write lists, and I'm a list person, and I used to say I'm just such a list person. But what I realize is I'm not just a list person, I'm a goal person. I set my goals and I write them down and I'll share them. So I'll tell my husband, like, okay, I wrote down everything we need to do today on this list. And so I realized that through time, I was actually creating goals. So now, throughout my career and life, I set goals. They're smart, specific, measurable, actionable, realistic, and time based. And I take action on them. I think that a lot of times we spend too much time, especially as technologists, overthinking different tools and different processes instead of just doing it. So I think taking action is super important. And I do believe in manifestation and visualization of things. Obviously, staying positive, your body and your chemistry will gravitate to what you mentally do. So that's why self talk and self esteem and confidence is so important, because if you're coding something and you're like, I just suck at coding, I cannot figure this out, then that is going to be like what happens to you. Like you'll find more challenges. Where if you said, I can do this, I'm so ready to learn and eager to learn these things, your mind will find ways to accomplish that faster and remove those barriers. So I just believe visualizing success. When I launched all this brand stuff, I really did some like mocks and kind of like drew it up on this goal board and said, my website looks like this today. I want it to look like this. And it gave me a visualization of something that I could imagine happening. So don't underplay that stuff. It's more powerful than you think. The mind is more powerful than you think. And then my last two things are around building support networks. So, I am just going to shout out to Josh and Niket. I think supporting each other is so important. It's something that we're really fortunate to have a lot of support and teamwork at Cisco. But if you know that someone's trying to learn something that you're good at, or if you need help, reach out and support each other. Especially social media is an easy one. If you have a Twitter handle and your friend launched a project, is it really that hard to go like it? Is it really costing you to retweet someone's accomplishment and support each other? So whatever support means, I think it's really important to look up and then around you and down and figure out how you can reach out for help, how you can look around you and like work with people and collaborate, because diverse ideas breed more innovation. And that's in my book. Also, the statistics on that, the nerdy statistics on that. And then I'll just end with, giving back. I think it's really important that just like all of us are giving back who are on the Barcamp organizers, or, Josh and Niket coming in from Cisco and spending their weekend to support this event. I think giving back in the community is really important, and it's just key to letting our technology environment thrive. But I think it's also helpful for your career, because a lot of times you get more than you give. And when my quote is, if you could get people to work for you and work with you in a nonprofit or a community project for free, they will love working for you for money. So get out there, give back, and spread love. And I think that that is some things that I have found successful. So I hope this talk gave you lots of tools to help you automate. Niket, did you learn one new tool during this? Any new tool?
Yes, I did. So I wasn't aware of Calendly with regards to scheduling and all of that. I know some of my other peers use it outside Cisco, and they say, okay, just schedule a time on this. And I said, how does this work? But I'll investigate now that you're using it. Great tool.
Yeah, and we need to get WebEx to be automated with that. So you can help me feature request that. And so for all of you who are also on, I just hope you got a little tip on automation, some tools and tricks that I use to help stay productive and manage all these things, and definitely some success tips. So I'm going to hand it over to Dave. I think we're pointing everyone back here to kind of wrap Barcamp. So thank you all for an amazing event and for using the power of automation. In fact, with our Barcamp bot, and I just have to give it up. I think I just saw Thomas join. He has done an amazing job taking this bot and making this work from, and talk about visualizing and manifesting. I came into this and we were like, what are we going to do for this conference? How are we going to have this conference? and I knew that the platform could do it, but without these organizers going through the test, it wouldn't matter if we were on Zoom or any other platform. Like, you're going to have a learning curve in the virtual environment of something, figuring out how it works with your system at home, figuring out how to navigate the tools and the windows and things like that. So I just thank everyone for having an open mind. And we would love your feedback on this, because I thought it was really effective to have all the different breakout rooms and use the amazing bot that Thomas created, frankly, for this. And I hope that we could share it with all the bar camps in the world and prove that this can be done. So over to you, Dave, to wrap the event. Thanks, everybody.